Hey, I'm Rodger Sherman, and it is time for the biggest event in college basketball, the Final Four. Who do you pick in your bracket pool? Did you pick Duke, North Carolina, Gonzaga? All gone. We've got kind of a pretty weird field here. Probably gonna turn some people off, but I actually really love the 4 teams remaining. All 4 teams kind of have their own little weird thing that's unique about them that I think makes this actually like a really compelling Final Four. First up, let's talk about Virginia. They're the favorite. All the other #1 seeds in the tournament lost. Virginia was kind of the one team coming in that was in the group of potential title teams that's really still alive. If you look at what Virginia did in the regular season, they played 30 games. They went 28-2. The 2 losses were both to Duke. I think Virginia can beat basically anybody in the country that isn't Duke, and Duke isn't here anymore. They're gone, and so are like 30% of the brackets in your pool. Virginia has been really a powerhouse for a while, but they've never gotten to this stage. They've always had something trip them up in the NCAA tournament. This year they almost had that happen, but they had the greatest play of the tournament, crazy buzzer beater to avoid losing to Purdue. You know something? If Virginia can actually make something exciting happen on the basketball court, there's nothing they can't do. But first up, Virginia has to get through Auburn. Auburn is the team that represents fun in this Final Four. If I were to craft my ideal version of a basketball team, it would look something like Auburn. They shoot a lot of threes. They aggressively sell out for steals. They're the best team in the country in terms of steal percentage. They also sell out for blocked shots. They're 5th in the country in block percentage. That's all I want. All I want is a team to jack up shots and try to make spectacular defensive plays. And that's what Auburn does. And it's gotten them to the Final Four. I really like this matchup between Virginia, the obvious favorite, and Auburn, the team that's just kind of trying to ruin everybody's time by having a lot of fun. Next up, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders. Pew, 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 pew. They are the Havoc team. Texas Tech has the best defense in college basketball, and honestly, that's not even quite explaining how good they are. Ken Pomeroy has been rating teams since 2002. In the 19 years that Ken Pomeroy has been doing fun nerd stuff online, no team has ever had a defense that's statistically better than Texas Tech. And if you don't like numbers, look at the way they got to the Final Four. They played the #2 defense in college basketball, Michigan, whooped them. They played the #1 offense in college basketball, Gonzaga, whooped them too. There's no better way to say that you are the best defense in the sport than beating the #2 defense and the #1 offense. Texas Tech did it. They represent Havoc, and they are going to try and ruin some other teams' lives. And last, but definitely not least, Michigan State. They are seasoned. Okay, the players haven't been to the Final Four, but Tom Izzo has a bunch of times, 8 times. If you look at the other teams in the field, Virginia hasn't been to a Final Four since the 1980s. Auburn's never been to a Final Four. Texas Tech never been to a Final Four. And then you've got Michigan State. They've won national championships under Tom Izzo. They've been to the Final Four more times than Auburn and Texas Tech have even been in the tournament since Tom Izzo took over as coach. If I had to pick a team here, I feel like this is Virginia's year. The team I want to win the most is probably Auburn, but if I had to pick somebody, I think Virginia. It feels like they're the best team in the field, and it feels like this is their time. And that's the Final Four.